everybody? Welcome back to the reality with the real in reality or whatever. Period. I'm your host Pharaoh. We're joined by our wonderful host Lee and Lee. We in the Dominican Republic,
We're in
baby.
the Dominican
We in
Republic.
the Dominican. We in the
The DJ
Dominican.
some part. What? That was Barbados.
That was Barbados. Who is Dominica?
Um.
Cardi B.
Enough is enough.
Bye. Goodbye.
Oh
She
my
said
god.
she gonna do what a hoop. Cardi B. Oh, they
Oh no,
can be
I
mad.
spice.
They can be
Like,
bars. They
give
can
me
be
a
bars.
light. Bitches is back.
Not like that. Give me a light. Like that. Keep it a stack.
Like,
Bitches been working. They know I got bands. Like that. Give me a light. No, like that. Barbie dreams. Barbie things.
like that.
Let me start talking about this lady. Anyways, we start off this episode, this leg in the Dominican Republic. It's the final five. And no shade, the team that left, I expected them to
Not
leave.
shocked.
And
no shade. Walla Walla should have been here. Justice for Walla Walla. They should have been in the DR. They would have got first this leg.
They would have hashtag justice for team Walla Walla. Get it trending, y'all.
Period.
Get it trending right now.
I
don't know if we need to sign a GoFundMe, if we need to sign a petition, if we need to act CBS, whatever we need to do.
At Phil Hogan. Get this shit put together.
Next season.
They honestly should sue. And I stand.
Go ahead and just make next season All Stars. Fuck it.
No, that's not enough. Because what if they could have won this season and they lose All Stars?
Okay, make it All Stars and rig it.
Period.
Thank you. We started this episode off and we leave with group one being Juan and Shane and Ricky and Cesar. That's very common throughout this race.
Only the big two.
Yeah. Except not this episode. Let me pull it up.
Ooh, pull it up.
They're not the big two no more. We're back to the OG. Because this is the thing. This is what happened, Lee. The OG big two was this.
Yeah.
And then it switched to Juan and Shane and Cesar and Ricky. But now it's switching back at the right moment, might I add, because if you remember, Letitia and Rod won the first two legs. And if they win the last two legs,
girl, it could be nasty.
That might be the tea they need.
Because the gag is Cesar and Ricky, their first place is theirs at this point. I think they're going to tie the record for most first place wins. I can see them doing it. Mm-hmm. I just feel like at this point, it would almost be kind of like this, I don't know, story moment if they were to lose. Because like they've been in power so much. Like even Phil, this episode was like, oh my God, how are y'all gonna beat that Ricky and Cesar being messy as hell? Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I just feel like they have the stuff to be able to do it. Like they really know what they're doing. They kill these challenges.
They do.
I just like I don't see a path that they don't win, but it would be crazy. If they don't.
You know how people say it's their game to lose? Yeah. You know, that's Cesar and Ricky's, and I hope they lose. I do.
What?
Because, well, let me tell you why.
You're so evil.
Let me tell you why. Love them.
Evil.
Can you let me tell you?
That was so crazy. Why
Can you let me say it? Why? Can you let me say why? I can explain. Love them down.
I word it differently.
No, let me tell you. I love them down. I really love Cesar and Ricky. And if they win, I'm going to be so happy. It would be a great pleasure to see them win. However, me personally, you know, I'm a fan of a story. I love movies. I got all these movie posters on my wall. I love a good book. I love a story. And you know what a story would be? Mm-hmm. Them coming up just too short. That's evil, but it's true. It really is true. It really is true. It would, because no shade. The season is boring. I'm just going to be frank. This is a boring season. No shade. And a part of it is the stagnancy. And I think what would make the season low-key more of a story is if they lose. If we go into this finale and let's say Cesar and Ricky come up just short, it's like, ooh. And
that would be a gag.
I'm more comfortable saying this because I know this already was filmed literally 5 fucking years ago during COVID. Yeah. So honestly, it's already happened. They got
5 years ago. It's crazy.
They're good. Literally though, it was literally filmed like 3-4 years ago. But anyways, so they already got their money. They're good. So I can say whatever I want. I'm not putting no bad omens on them. They already got their money.
Period.
What I would love, me personally, is an upset. They got 5 in a row.
That would be nasty.
Leg after leg after leg. And then boom. And then for me,
I feel so bad for them though. Like they worked so hard. They worked so hard and then
they did. Oops.
Not oops. You're evil. You're evil. You're evil.
Oops. But I would love any of the winners at this point. Specifically, Cesar, Ricky, Letitia, and Rod. For me, Juan and Shane would be cute as well. And Amber and Vinny, yeah.
No shit, Amber and Vinny gotta go.
Because I love Amber and Vinny. I actually love this cast. It's just, Amber and Vinny, when it comes to the competitiveness of the cast, the only people who've won a leg this season are those three. Cesar, Ricky, Letitia, and Juan.
I would love to see that.
Oh, Amber and Vinny run a leg. Let me shut the fuck up.
Oh, get
oh my God, Lee. These are the only four teams who won a leg. The only four all season.
Oh, this is the big four.
Don't need a big score. Let me get off it. I take back everything I said. Amber and Vinny, I'm so sorry, sweet.
Yeah.
Y'all deserve it too. Because y'all have won a leg. Y'all put that work in. These are the only teams who won a leg. Let me make sure. Rod and Letitia won leg 1 and 2. Mm-hmm. Ricky and Cesar won leg 3, 4, and 5. Juan and Shane won leg 6. Ricky and Caesar 7. Oh, Amber Vinny didn't win none. Amber Vinny ain't won none.
I was like, when you said it, I was like,
they got second in a leg, and they jumped from 7th to 2nd. That's what happened. They jumped from 7th place to 2nd place, and I was like, "Ooh, y'all ate that up." So wait, rewind. Amber and Vinny, go ahead and bow out.
Yeah, because that would be a nasty battle between Caesar, Ricky, Letitia, Rod, and Juan and Shane. Like, it could really be anyone's game. I feel like even though Cesar and Ricky have been at the head of the pack, I feel like if those three are in top 3, it could really go to anyone. Especially because they're gonna be going back to the United States. I feel like that takes the load off of like the stress of the navigation, being able to read where you're going, things like that. So it'll be more of an even playing field.
Mm-hmm. This is going to be very interesting, especially with those three. It's so interesting how they've all won. They've all are the only teams who won a leg. And Juan and Shane won 2. Letitia and Rod won 2. And Cesar and Ricky won every other.
Like if Ricky and Cesar was able to got 4th or something like that, I feel like that also still would be interesting because it's like, girl, who's winning this season?
Yeah,
it can be anyone's game.
Very interesting. So we start off, like we said, with group 1 being Juan and Shane, Ricky and Caesar, and then group 2 being everybody else. And we immediately get to a roadblock. The roadblock was Lee. Who can see the writing on the wall? Mm-hmm. They have to identify a bunch of stones that are across this pathway, wall, river walk, and then they have to match up the symbol on the pathway with the symbol of their rocks at their little station. And basically there's a very minuscule detailed difference between the front of the rock and the back of the rock. And you have to decide which one is the correct one. Lee, you got it?
At all.
Yeah, we agreed. Alex, go ahead and
this challenge would have stressed me out so bad. I would have got overwhelmed. It would have been too much. Now, they did start helping each other, but like, I was just genuinely confused. I really was. I don't think that would have changed if I was out there. I really don't think it would have. Like, I would need to get some help real bad.
I would have took it. I like doing the like puzzly ones. I feel like I would have loved that because I always feel a little more confident.
At first is what you're saying.
Yeah, well,
I think that we got there first
because this is attention to detail, and I have attention deficit. Hyperactive disorder. So that's going to be the issue to that. But I do think that because I just play so many of those little like type of game, word puzzle stuff, my mind just is gonna work in a more figure it out type of way. So I think I could have done well. I'm not sure about going out first, but I do think I could have done a little better than Melissa did. No shade, because she was up there. She done got help. Still didn't know. Baby.
That's the thing. She was working with Ricky. Ricky got it and he dipped.
Yeah. Like it was Cesar. Cesar was doing it. Cesar was doing this one and they got there first, and then all the other teams ended up arriving and they were still there. All 5 teams were there doing it at the same time. And we saw Melissa and Cesar work together, and then Rod and Juan were working together to try to figure it out. And then Amber was just working on it on her own. I will say Amber is good at the mental stuff because she was the one who figured out the race car puzzle.
Medical degree.
Period. She was the one who figured out that race car puzzle as well. She's good at roadblocks, honestly, especially when they're the more mental ones. I feel like she should just do most of the mental ones and Vinny just do most of the mental ones. That's kind of what happened. for the most part. So Amber can get something done because I be shading her here and there, but she can get it done because she did it on her own. But the other two teams work together, but working together just didn't seem that helpful.
They didn't get it. Like I was like, they were working together for a minute, and it's like it went anywhere.
Yeah, it really didn't seem like it mattered. At the end of the day, they just ended up finishing kind of on their own accord. Of course, Cesar and Ricky finished first, and he literally went over to Melissa and basically told her the answer to like 3 or 4 of them before he left. And then no shade, we literally saw everyone else finish before Melissa after he kind of told her the answers. And it's like, how you last at this? And it's like, I don't know, like that's kind of why I was like, I'm not surprised Melissa and Yvonne left because they haven't been standouts yet in the competition. Honestly, no shade, Sunny and Busy were a little bit great at the challenges, so they were even a little more standoutish when it came to it. But Melissa and Yvonne, they kind of just fell in the back of the.
And that really just does go into what we were saying earlier about the stagnation of the season.
Yeah.
Word? But yeah,
well,
I made it one. You know what the fuck I'm trying to say.
Boom. Yes, and they just ended up losing. It was kind of like predictable a little bit. But that's okay. But they started off literally in last, and then they stayed in last the rest of the game.
Yeah.
So after they finished this roadblock, the next one was actually route info. They had to go to this cacao farm with a bunch of cacao plants hanging up, and they had to go and cut down the cacaos to split them open and spread the cacao seeds over the cacao seeds over this like tarp, basically. And it had to fill the entire tarp, laid flat, all of the cacao seeds. You have to knock them down. Now, I was telling Lee, we would have ate this up.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like
we also climbed trees.
Yes, I was a little
open things. It would have been great teamwork.
Girl, why am I say I was a little monkey growing up? I wasn't that. I was not that. But I was a little Tarzan.
That's not even better. That's not even better, girl. You might as well.
Pharaoh of the jungle. But anyway, that's not better either. Anyway, I used to climb a lot.
Climb trees. That's it.
I climbed trees, and that was all.
I'm sorry, that would have been crazy if you said that.
I climbed trees. That was all. So I do think I would have been like Vinny when he and Rod, they were just jumping up in them trees. I would have climbed the tree so fast, especially because that little cutter didn't seem like it was cutting. I would have been like, Lee, you got the cutter, go cut over there. I'm gonna climb and drop over here, and then we're gonna collaborate.
And it's really simple. Like you just lay them flat. Like I think they kept getting caught up in like bunching them together. I noticed like Melissa and Yvonne's like it seemed like it was very. She said it herself like they're going to be meticulous. Like girl, you don't slap it on that.
Yeah, fuck all that.
I think they would have accepted anything.
I'm throwing that shit on there. I don't give a fuck about them wet ass nuts. They was wet and stuff. Like no. So I feel like it would have been easy for us. Cesar and Ricky got there really early, so they were able to really get a head start. As per usual. So they were able to get a head start. And then we saw the other 3 teams, Wanda, Shane, Rod, Letitia, Amber, Vinny, they kind of all got there around the same time. And it kind of came down to who was going to just do it fastest. And Rod was zooming. He was zooming with the cutting them down. He started jumping up and just grabbing them. He was eating it up.
Who does that? This man is crazy.
No, he literally eats that. He eats that the fuck up. Now, Amber and Vinny, they arguing again. Because Vinny trying to climb the trees, and Amber's like, this area isn't like full of the things. And he was like, well, they're in this tree. I'm going to climb them. So they're like bickering while he's trying to do it, and they're trying to work together, but they're still bickering. And it's like, y'all are going to have to stop bickering at every step of the way. They bicker in the taxi. They bicker when they're self-driving.
Stop soon because this ain't gonna work in the finale. Next week
is
the finale.
Not going to work in the finale.
Y'all need to get it together. Because I think they made this far a lot with the bickering, mainly because a lot of other teams were, not doing the best. There's no shade, but like now you with the big dogs, okay.
The weird thing is I genuinely think Amber and Vinny have the potential of being a great team. I mean, they are a good team, even regardless, but they could be a great team, like up here with these other 3, like we would be regarding them that way if they just didn't bicker that much. I think their issue is they don't work well together. Amber is good at some of these roadblocks. Vinny is good at damn near all of the roadblocks, and they get the detours done. They just bicker. if they were on the same page and they weren't so working against each other, it's like they're going through this whole way holding each other back by doing all of this arguing and stuff. They're literally preventing their own success, and they're still here. So clearly they have a lot of good qualities. But if they were just able to get on the same page and work together and not have so many comments to each other, when Amber has comments to Vinny and when Vinny has comments to Amber, it's like none of that shit is helpful.
They just go back and forth, back and forth.
And it's like you don't always have to, even if Amber is suggesting something, Vinny, you don't always have to argue with her about it. Like I said 2 episodes ago, I would just lie and go with it, or I would just sometimes you just can concede. It's almost okay sometimes, but it's hard when they're in a race. Yeah. But also Amber,
they are both very confident in what they're saying. Like even if one is wrong, they're both very confident in their opinion on it, and they kind of just go back and forth on who's right.
Mm-hmm. And it's like it really don't matter, because Amber was basically suggesting we should go to somewhere with more things, and he was like, well, there's things here, and I'm finna just knock them down. Either one of them should just shut up, because either Amber she sees there's actual cows in the tree, so she could just allow Vinny to get these cows, and then they can go to the other place. And so she could have been quiet, or Vinny could have just been like, all right, you're right, let's go to the one with the other place. I feel like conceding on somebody's end would have just made it more efficient. Instead, he was there doing what she didn't want him to do, and she was there complaining about it. And it's like, oh God, like both of y'all are not, neither of y'all are helpful. She could have either just waited, or she could have another suggestion could have been what's it called when 2 people have different opinions and they agree on a middle ground? What is that word? Compromise. Amber could have been like, okay, Vinny, get some from this tree, and then we should go to this other one. They never compromise. They always just sternly argue. She said, we should be over here, but Vinny, why are we over
here? That one time though, when he was like, okay, let's go check your side, girl. Mm-hmm. And then they went to go check the other side, and it was wrong.
And that's the issue. That wasn't I feel like that wasn't compromise. That was him being shady, knowing she was wrong. I feel like a compromise would have been as soon
that was him ceding to her.
But this is the issue. He spent most of that time arguing with her about it. Mm-hmm. And then at the very last minute, he said, well, let's just go. Because if at the beginning he would have said, let's go check where you're going, and then we're going to go to the correct place, it would have happened quicker. Instead of you're bicker, just don't bicker. I just cut out the bicker middleman. If she says something, or even when Amber suggested to Vinny could have took the manship and he could have did it himself, because Amber doesn't have to be the one to say, after this, let's go over there. Vinny could have said, okay, Queen, I'll get these few ones, and then we'll go to the more full place. Instead, he's sitting there bickering. I don't know. I just feel like, come on now, y'all, work together. And then talk about this in the hotel. What are y'all doing in the hotel? After the leg is done, because y'all haven't improved.
Well, the thing is, I think that they're coming in with game plans. I think the race start, and then it go out the window.
That's fair enough. I feel like that's true.
But they're funny because they're bickering the whole time. And they get to the back with Phil. Yeah, I just feel like this time I was definitely just trying not to, get on her nerves and allow her to be able to, make mistakes. And then she's like, yeah, I just don't want to let him down. And I was just like, okay, so positive here. What was this during the race?
No, literally, I was thinking the same thing. But anyways, they start getting it done. So everyone starts finishing here. And the last 2 teams left are Amber and Vinny and Melissa and Yvonne. And then Amber and Vinny finished before them. And then everyone has ended up headed towards the next roadblock. So there's 2 roadblocks this leg.
Ooh. And it's like, what Louis said this on the premiere, girl. They be doing anything.
Yeah.
They really do what they want. I'm thinking, is this a mega leg?
Yeah, literally.
Or half like a super leg. Like, it's something.
And it was just a regular leg because it was just a roadblock and a roadblock instead of a roadblock and a detour. I don't know. Very interesting. But the roadblock was, who wants to play ball? You got to catch.
What?
You got to catch a ground ball first. Then you got to throw it. Then you got to catch a fly ball. Then you got to throw it. And you got to hit a bottle cap with a stick. Anyways, it's some real ABC, baseball stuff. And Lee played baseball for his whole life in college, middle school, and high school.
No, I played college when I was fucking.
You played college?
Elementary, girl. You confusing me. I played basketball. Girl, I don't know where my mind is at right now. I played baseball when I was way younger, younger, and that team sucked so bad. We won one game.
That sounds like a good story.
But that was a beautiful game to win. But I knew I could do that shit. All you had to do was squat, catch a ball, throw. I did that well. You had to catch. I could catch something.
Boom.
How hard is catching something? And then hit it with a broomstick. I used to always hit the ball when I have to go do it. So I could have did this. You could have scored and no memory involved. You just gotta do it. Anything you just gotta do, I can do it. I have to try and do it because we gotta stay even.
Okay, I support, because initially I was like, "Ooh, I mean, if I have to do it, I'll do it." But Lee was like, "I could do this.
I can do this." Especially because I'm thinking, okay, if you did well in the first one, we can get out relatively early. I feel like I can. Like, this is going to take like 15 tries, and I'm just out there sucking really bad.
Yeah, I agree. So I feel like this would have been fine. I feel like we would have
won. We could have won. We would have beat Seth and Ricky. We would have beat Seth and Ricky because you would have got it there first, right? You would have got the last one first. And I would have did this one first.
Okay.
I mean,
you talking competence.
You said we would have cacao. I'm just saying, y'all. I'm just saying, y'all, this could have been our leg. Put us out there to the Dominican Republic and let us run this course. Bitch, we'll be out there in 2 hours.
I support. I think, okay, because this episode we hear a little bit about the who's done how many roadblocks. Mm-hmm. And I think you and I would have been about what and what, but I really don't remember every roadblock because
everything we decided. I feel like I haven't taken that much. I ain't even gonna lie.
I feel like you have because I'm not 100% sure, but I do remember.
We gotta track it next time.
We really gotta track it because I was keeping track a little bit, but not enough. But I remember the first leg. It was the jump through the little hula hoop. It wasn't a hula hoop. It was a rope from the.
You said you did that
Wrangler, and I would have did that. So I know I did like that one. I know I did a lot of like the more mental ones as well. But I feel like you did like pick up on some of these, didn't you?
I think it was like 2 or 3. Maybe.
I feel like it was like 4 or 5.
At least 4.
I don't remember.
I don't know. Hopefully.
I'm trying to find a list of the roadblocks so I can remember. But yes, I'm hoping we would have been about what and what, because I remember you saying a few times like you could have did this and stuff like that. But we get to these teams arriving, and Ricky and Cesar decide that Ricky's gonna do it, and he does kill it. So that was a good decision. And Ricky has done 5 roadblocks. Cesar has done 6. Mm-hmm. And I believe there's 3 more. So I think each team is going to end up with one person having done 7 and the other person having done 7 roadblocks by the end of the season, right? So that means Ricky will have to do 2 in the finale, and Cesar will have to do 1 of them in the finale so they can stay even. So they're about even. They're pretty even. Rod and Letitia, though, they get here second. And when they open the thing, Letitia's like, this will be your last roadblock if you do it. And for some reason, he still decided to do it. And I really don't understand that decision, because that leaves Letitia only having done 4, which means she'll have to do all 3 roadblocks for this finale. And it's like...
And it's definitely not to say, like, I don't think Letitia can eat it up, because I feel like she has done so well at these challenges. But I just feel like Rod, he has beasted some of these challenges. And a powerhouse competitor like this does not need to not be able to compete in this finale with some of these roadblocks. So I feel like they back themselves into a corner, because you never know if there's going to be a strength challenge coming up or just something that Rod will be able to do. Like, for example, the baseball, Letitia could have did that easily. The tablets, Letitia, I feel like could have did, So I just feel like I
feel like she probably should have did both of them this leg or one of them.
That scares me.
I really don't know why she just didn't do one of them. I understand, okay, at the beginning, Rod, just you do this one. But when they got to the baseball and saw it was another roadblock, they should have just said, okay, we're in second place, Letitia, you got it. But they didn't do that, and I don't understand, because I'm wondering how it's going to pan out in the finale if Letitia has to mow a lawn. Mow a lawn is crazy. But if she has to do something that is super physical, where it's like Juan and Shane are right behind y'all, and Shane or Juan can do it, and you got to run back and
forth.
Oh
my God, I didn't even realize that they could be in the final with 2 male teams.
Yeah, and you only have the lady doing all of the roadblocks, and it's like if it's one physical roadblock, it's very easy for Shane or Juan, who both can also do roadblocks, who can just eat it up. And there's 3 roadblocks next episode, girl. So it's like I just feel like really very very silly decision. I think it just might come from the fact that they may have not studied up or planned out the way they needed to. They needed to make sure Rod had a certain number of roadblocks. I don't think they were making sure of none of that. Yeah. They were just going along.
They're just confident in their abilities, child. I also see that as well. So I mean, we'll see. Like I said, I'm definitely not counting my good sister Letitia out. I think she can still eat it up. It's just I hate they back themselves in such a corner. You should always keep your options open.
Yeah, and then mind you, Rod flopped. He got out there, couldn't hit it. So they got out there in second place, and they were in the lead by a lot. But by the time they finished, Juan and Shane arrived and finished while they were still getting in the car to lead. Yeah, so it's like y'all blew y'all lead a little bit. Like he didn't even help y'all enough. Letitia probably would have finished in the same amount of time Rod did. Y'all would have got the same place, and y'all would have been in the same position, except now Rod can actually do another roadblock. But like you said, I'm not counting out Letitia. I think they can still do fine, but there could be a situation. Race on this thing. And
but
then
Letitia ate up Juan, girl. Letitia ate up Juan this episode.
She did.
That race to the pit stop, Yana.
That was a foreshadowing.
Right.
Foreshadowing for Letitia out physically. Boom.
Overpowering them.
Boom. So they get done with that. Both teams are finished. Amber and Vinny arrive. Vinny eats it up as per usual. And Amber and Vinny have about even roadblocks as well. Vinny has done 6. Amber has done 5. So Amber's going to have to do 2 in the finale. And Vinny just has to do 1. And then Melissa and Iwanda pull up. I didn't keep count of theirs because they went home. So the last thing they have to do is giving Rihanna's house, because all they have to do is go to this very cute pink hallway, walkway, alley area to get their next clue, which tells them to just go to the pit stop. So that was basically the end of the race after that, because the order didn't change from there to there. What was interesting was when they were driving, Letitia and Rod got in their taxi, and their taxi driver was like, and they were like, "Do you know where to go?" And he was like, "Not really." They're like, "He don't know where to go." He said, and Rod leaned up in the front. He said, "Okay, pull over right here. We're gonna ask for directions." And that's exactly what they did.
That's what you need to do. Like I said, when I was doing my binge of Amazing Race, the teams who win the Amazing Race, they're active players. They do shit that no other teams is doing. And this is an example because we literally see in the same episode when Amber and Vinny was lost with a taxi driver, they was driving with this man for miles and miles and miles before they told him to pull over.
I don't think he knows.
And he didn't know where he was going at all. And that literally got them to a point where Melissa and Yvonne could have beat them based off the taxi driver. And you have to be proactive. If you're lost for a minute, that's a problem.
Yeah.
1 second, it's a problem. You should always pull over, get the next direction, and make sure you know where you're going.
It was weird because it's like they immediately knew he didn't know where he was going. It wasn't like a situation where they thought he knew he was going. They knew he didn't know where he was going. They didn't say anything. While we saw Letitia and Rod do literally the opposite. It's just like that. It was interesting that both of those situations happened in this episode, because it's like one team's way of handling it, and they were able to not only find directions while they left at the same time as Juan and Shane. Their driver passed up Juan and Shane, even though they stopped and got directions. So it's like they were about their way.
But it was actually so crazy because Amber and Vinny was just like Amber was mad as hell.
He's like, I don't know where he's going.
He doesn't know where he's going. Is he just driving? Where's he
going? Why is he just driving? She said, "Why is he just driving?" That was a good question though, because when they got directions, they were like, "So he was just driving."
The master man said, "Oh, he didn't know. He didn't know."
It's like what?
And the taxi driver didn't give a fuck. He over here like.
No. Do you know where you're going? No.
No.
What? And he would have got up.
Yo
right.
Then he kept saying, "Yo necesito the rest of y'all."
But no, let that been me and Lee. We would have started driving the taxi ourselves.
Get out.
Like you don't play. Please don't play on my
This is a
time.
self-driving leg now, bitch. You gotta go.
And then you gotta communicate. I understand we don't speak the same language, but if you don't know where you're going, you need to like you better do something, sir. Like, what did you do?
I'm like, pause, stop.
Right.
What's stop in Spanish?
Auto.
Auto. Are you not man?
That don't sound right at all. What is stop? We need to learn. It is auto.
Pull over right there. That's what Rod said. All you need to say.
Oh, I would have ate that up. Auto.
Auto.
Just point something. Y'all know what I'm saying?
That was Rod there. Okay, pull over right there.
But Lee, this is why.
Let me figure out where we going.
This is why, love you, great friend. This is why I gotta go with somebody else.
Oh my god, y'all! Pharaoh don't want to play with me because he think I'm a flop.
That's not what I said.
Tell the audience. That's what you mean.
So what I mean is, sometimes it's hard to communicate with each other. So I feel like I need somebody who I could just yell and scream at.
They wouldn't even cast you with him.
I feel like I need someone who I could yell and scream.
We have the story.
So we going into Final Four. Next episode is the finale. So there will be two of them. There will be like 2 legs or something.
Yeah.
Girl, I don't know. It's the finale though.
The Final Four race, the person getting eliminated, and then they're gonna have the final leg.
Okay, so boom. So it's gonna be a jam-packed episode. Probably gonna be a really good episode because they're probably gonna put a lot of information in there if the whole Final Four got to race and then the Final 3 are gonna race. So I'm very tuned in for that. This was a great season. Make sure y'all tune in next week when we recap for the finale. We're also covering Survivor. It's coming to a close, so check out those last 2 episodes for that. We just finished Big Brother Canada, but Big Brother season ain't over because we will be covering Big Brother 3 for BB Rewind, and we have a lot of new shows coming to our channel of coverages. We are going to be covering the new series, The GOAT. That's going to be coming on Amazon Freebie. We'll start covering that this week. We're also going to be covering RuPaul's Drag Race starting this next season. And we're also going to be covering Total Drama Island because we are unserious. Thank you. I wanna be. Period. Is that still the same theme song?
No.
Oh. All right. Thank you for keeping it real with the kingdom. And we out. Bye.